Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. Yahawah from the sons of Israel. Come back with your lesson. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor to Yahawah, Hasham, Yahawashi, Hasham, HaRawchaa, Qadash. Barakatha, Yahawah, Barakatha, Hasham, Barakatha, Yahawah, Barakatha, Hasham, Barakatha, Yahawah, Barakatha, Hasham, halalyam, hawad, Kabad, Yahawah, Hasham, Mashiach, Yahawashi. Hasham, HaRawchaa, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of Israel who pushed in truth and diligence in sincerity and in truth, and to the Aqua for listening and learning. To you all I say Shalom wa Barakatha. This lesson will be about Babylon is fallen, aka prophecy is fulfilling, man. Okay, first we're gonna watch one video. I'm gonna get some precept upon it, then we'll get another video. Okay, so let's go straight into it, man.
Laissez-les partir. Regardez les munitions, on voit. Les munitions. De pute, les munitions.
Okay, you saw that, man. This is biblical prophecy, man. This is Esau against Esau, man. Because first off, I'm gonna get Exodus 20:2. Okay, because these heathen nations, man, they got the spirit of Egypt, man. Okay, and so like America's Egypt all over again, man. Okay, but these other nations are involved in America, man. I am Yahawah, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, man. So Egypt is a synonym for house of bondage. Okay, so this is why we're saying America and these other nations, man. Mainly America's Egypt all over again, man. It's book of Isaiah chapter 19 verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. You see, these Edomites going against these Edomites, man. And they shall fight everyone against his brother. That's what they did, man. Okay, they have uproars of the people. They're fighting against each other, man. You saw this guy, man, the so-called boxer, was fighting against the policeman, man. They don't give a fuck what the king is saying, you know, the Macron, man. And they got race wars, man. Not race wars, but they got uproars of the people. And the same thing will happen in Babylon the Great, man, and so-called America, man. And they shall fight everyone against his brother, what they're doing, and everyone against his neighbor, what they're doing, man. And city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Kingdom against kingdom gonna come, man. City against city gonna come too, man. Because the third world war is on its way, man. Like it says in Revelation. Let's get it real quick. 14 verse 11, I'm not mistaken. No, 11 verse 13. No, 14, Salakia says, the second war is past, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. You see, the second war is past, man. The second world war is past. The third world war, World War III, is coming quickly, man. So get ready for it, man. Now we go to 2 Ezra. You see all these Edomites rising up against each other. It's called halalyam. La Yahawah, Hasham, Yahawashi, man. All praise to the Most High, because he let the prophecy fulfill, man. Go 2 Ezra 15 and 16. And it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see, they do what they want, man. They don't care what Macron is saying. They don't care what the police are saying, man. They do what they want, man. They don't give a fuck up anymore, you know. And this 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. This is happening too, man, with the Akim, with the Israelites, not Akim, Salaki, but the Israelites from Venezuela, man. They're trying to go into America, man, but they refuse. They say, no, you won't come in, man. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and all men shall be afraid, man. It's gonna happen too, man. It's happening right now in some cities, man. But the sedition among men is happening right now, man. You see prophecy, so like prophecy is fulfilling left and right, man. Babylon gonna fall real quick, man, real soon. 15, 2nd Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction drove nigh. Whose place was the sword? Esau, man. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, man. You see these policemen, man, rising up with their weapons, man, okay, and fighting against each other, man. Ultimately, these nuclear missiles, man, gonna fight against these other people, man. You're gonna see Russia put its nukes upon America, and so on and so forth, man. You know, the kings of the east gonna fight against the bitch, man, against Babylon, the great bitch, man, the great whore, okay? Like it says in Revelation 6 and 12, the river Euphrates dried up, roughly paraphrasing, that the way for the king of the east may be prepared, man, you know, because they're gonna make war against the whore, man. It goes 2nd Ezra, but this time 9, starting at 1. He answered, let's go straight to the point. 9 verse 1. And he answered me then, and said, measure all the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told ye before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that I selected it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So Yahawashi sent the UFOs, man. He sent the signs, man, that was spoken aforetime, man, and he visits the world, man. You see the UFOs, you see the outbursts of people, you see kingdom against kingdom, you know, nation against nation. You see earthquakes, roars of the water, you know, you see signs in heaven, man. And like it says in Jeremiah 10 and 2, we shouldn't be, roughly paraphrasing, we shouldn't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. Okay, Jeremiah 10 and 2. Because the heathen are, man. We rejoicing when we see the blood moon and everything, because it's biblical prophecy, man. And Yahawashi is come soon back. And you heathen, man, you should be, you're gonna be gnashing of teeth, man, when Yahawashi is come back, man. Paraphrasing, they're gonna be gnashing of teeth, man. And you're gonna be like, oh shit, he's come back, man. Jesus come back, and then out of nowhere, man, he gonna kill you, man, because you fucking false prophets, man, because you think Yahawashi gonna come back with flowers and love, man. He comes back with wrath and with the sword, man. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of people in the world. Okay, let's just real quick look in the internet up to the spirit earth quakes news. Okay, just let's look it up to the spirit earthquake. So like how did the deadly Indonesian tsunami tsunami creep past early warning systems? I made another lesson about prophecy fulfillment, rough paraphrasing about, if I'm not mistaken, and like it says in Luke, I'm gonna go later into it, man, that there are gonna be roars of the water, man, rough paraphrasing. You see, aerial footage shows the devastation after Italy earthquakes, man. You know. You see these Yahawashi put his angels out there, man. His angels for for the nature, roughly paraphrasing, man. You know, like it says in, if I'm not mistaken, Nahum. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's go real quick to it. Nahum 1. Verse 4. He rebukes the sea and makes it dry. He dries up all the rivers, Persian language, and the Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon language, man. So now verse 3 is like Yahawah is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. Yahawah has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and in the clouds are the dust of his feet. You understand? Yahawashi controls all these things, man. He controls the earthquakes, he controls tsunamis, he controls the fires, everything, man. Like it says, Sirach 39, verse 28. And there be spirits that are created for vengeance by who? Yahawashi, man. Ultimately Yahawah. Okay, Yahawah created Yahawashi created the rest. Okay, which is in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of the destruction, they pour out their force. So they come in the time of destruction, man. They bring destruction, man. And the peace, the wrath of him that made them. And they fulfill the wrath of Yahawashi, fire and hail, and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction, man. You see, all these things are created by the Most High and controlled by the Most High, man. So all these things you see, uproars of people, uproars of people, you see whirlwinds, you see earthquakes. Everything's controlled by the Most High, man. There's no coincidence, man. Verse 4. So verse 3 again. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, man. The end gonna come, man. Only Yahawashi knows the end, okay? Now we go back to YouTube and go to another video, okay? But we won't look it all up. Where was it? Was this one.
From the national headquarters of RT America, our nation's capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. So tonight, the man who slapped down President Trump got slapped down himself by a president, no less. No, it wasn't President Trump in this case, but it was a president. Somebody who's very important in the scheme of things globally for the United States and many other countries. All right, let me try and start this story off where we left off last night, because this story has moved again, and it's done so actually quite dramatically. Let's go back to December 19th to be exact. President Trump announces that he is going to be pulling troops out of Syria, right? Remember? Well, yesterday, his national security advisor overruled the president. That's right. A member of President Trump's cabinet overruled him. Don't even know if he told him before he was going to overrule him. John Bolton decided that these troops from Syria would not be coming home, and that, in fact, we might actually now be sending even more troops to Syria. So why did John Bolton make that decision, right? You ask yourself, and we talked about this somewhat yesterday, because he was in Jerusalem, and that's what Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin...
Okay, this was a point, man. You heard it. This John Bolton, man. Let's just look it up real quick in the internet, okay? Faithfulness Edomite, man. John Bolton, okay? I didn't knew him before that. Bolton, Khan, he is he. Okay, this Edomite overruled the president of Babylon, man. Okay, he went against his so-called boss, man. You understand? Because over Trump, man, these elites are behind them, man. They are the shadow kings of the world, man. They don't show themselves, man. You understand? So this John Bolton, man, overruled Trump, man. Trump said, like, in December, hey, you troops from America, from Syria, man, you're gonna come back home, man. And he said, like, nah. This Bolton said, like, nah, they won't come back. You know, they won't come back. We even will send more troops. Because of who? Because Israel, the president of Israel, don't want America to settle the war up, you know, to get the Americans back, man. And who's Israel, man? These fake Jews, man, the Ashkenazi, man, These fucking fake Jews, man. Like it says in Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, man. The synagogue of Satan, man. These fake Jews run the world, man. Okay, and they say the troops won't go back. They even go more, man, because these fake Jews say that, man. Okay, so let's go back to the scriptures, man. I just want to quote it real quick because it's biblical too, man. Like it says, and let's first go to Matthew 12 and 25. And it says, and Yahawashi knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Is not this kingdom divided against itself? The king says this, and his, like, not the second guy, but somebody in his squad says, nah, we were sent, man. So they're going against themselves, man. They're going against each other. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand, man. Babylon is fallen, man. Babylon is fallen, man. This whole world is falling down, man. Because they going against themselves, man. Before that, they went against us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, God's chosen people, okay? God's nation, okay? Yahawah's nation, the 12th tribe of Israel, man. But now they're going against themselves, man, through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, man. Verse 26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand, man? Satan is running the world under the power of Yahawashi right now. So how is Satan standing, man? If Edomites, these Edomites go against these Edomites, how will they stand? Like in France, man. These Edomites go against the Edomites, man. You know, the people go against the government, man. How should the kingdom stand, man? The martial law gonna hit, the race war's gonna hit, man. You understand? Now we go to the book of Mark. Chapter 3, verse 24, same thing, but I want to quote all of them, man. Verse 24. Now 23, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? The same thing. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, like it's America, like it's in France, like it's all over the planet, man, gonna happen soon, man, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand, man. Here in Germany, man, in the belly of the bitch, man, they gonna go crazy because of these refugees, man. You know, these Edomites in Germany, man. Okay, these Ashkenazi, man. You know, they going against Salakia. They going against these refugees hard, man. They don't want them here, man. And these refugees go against them, man. They got the race war going, man. And it's gonna rise up, man. Till they really fight, man. And the race war gonna hit here, man. Okay, now we go to the book of Luke 11 and 17. And it says the same thing, man. And he, knowing their thoughts, knowing the thoughts, said unto them, Yahawashi said, okay, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, man. All these 10 kingdoms that go against themselves, man, they're gonna be fucked up, man. And the house divided against a house falleth, man. And this house gonna fall, man. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub, man. It makes no sense, man. Okay, you need to understand that these Satan goes against Satan, gonna fall, man. Esau against Esau, gonna fall, man. And ultimately, the Most High does that. Because let me go to preacher real quick. Like it says in Proverbs 21:1, one of my favorites. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahawah. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So Yahawashi controls these people, man. Yahawashi controls them and turns them howsoever he wants, man. Because heart means love in Hebrew, and this means mind. So the mind is in Yahawashi hand, man. And he says, like, to Russia, to Putin, man, you're gonna fuck America up. He gonna do it, man. And America gonna backfire because of the spirit of Yahawashi. Now let me get my last preset in Luke 21:9, verse 11 till 11. And when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but then is not So like it, but the end is not by and by. You need to understand, man, what we're hearing all the time, man. Russia is stocking up their shit, their weapons. America's stocking up. Russia and China working together on new nukes, new missiles. What I saw, let me quote it real quick in the like it says, China, mother of all calm bombs. Right here, man. Listen to it real quick.
And it's not just any weapon. This is a bomb. And apparently among the most powerful non-nuclear weapons that they have ever country. We about the day.
So this bomb whose we know it costs K-bomb, whose strength is only a second to that of a nuclear weapon, was dropped by a Chinese H-6K bomber. Now the bomb, it was dropped, we can see on screen right now, it was dropped in an unspecified location. We know it caused a gigantic explosion with fire and smoke, very heavy. To put this into perspective, back in 2017, Trump, who also dubbed the mother of all bombs, dropped that bomb in Afghanistan. If you remember East Afghanistan, this was back in 2017. But Beijing-based...
So you see, man, we have wars and rumors of wars, man, of commotions, man. Okay, verse 10, then said he unto them, nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Happening too, man. Verse 11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, like I showed you, okay, in the articles, and famines. Famines happen in Venezuela, man, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. You know, great signs shall be there from heaven, man. What is happening, man? UFOs rising up, the blood moon again, you know, everything is happening, man. But they that have ears to hear gonna hear, and eyes to see gonna see, man, roughly paraphrasing. So I had one scripture on my spirit, I forgot it. Bear with me one second. Calm. I think it's Ecclesiastes 7. Time of war. Ecclesiastes 3 and 8, and it says, because like it says in Tarek, and the second Ezra 9 and 1, measured out the time diligently. Okay, we were in the time of love, we were in the time of faith. Now it's the time of war, man. Like it says Ecclesiastes 3 and 8, a time to love. Salakia, let me start at 8. A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, man. We in the time of war right now, man. And a time of peace. And after that, the time of peace gonna come when the kingdom is established, when the elect is in power. Even you wicked as evil nations, man, gonna rejoice according to. Let me quote it real quick, man. I just want to quote all things because we need to prove all things, okay? So bear with me one second. Proverbs 28 and 29 verse 2, Salakia, and it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So all you people gonna rejoice when the elect is in power, man. Lord willing, I'm of the number, my Akim too, man, who push the truth and diligence and sincerity, man. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. Aren't the people mourning everywhere? Don't we have family? Don't we have wickedness everywhere? So understand, prophecies fulfilling left and right. Babylon gonna fall, man. Okay. Bolton versus Trump, kingdom against kingdom, uproars of people, earthquakes, famines, everything is happening, man. We warn you, man. Like it says in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2, my last scripture, really, this time, Salakia, 5 and 2, for yourself know perfectly that the day of Yahawah cometh as of the Lord of Yahawah, so cometh as a thief in the night. The day of Yahawashi comes as a thief in the night, man. So be ready for it always, man. Like it says in Matthew, we don't know the day, roughly paraphrasing. Only Yahawah knows it. So, Lord willing, that's most edifying. And I want to give again all praise and honor to Yahawah, Hasham, Yahawashi, HaRawchaa, Qadash. Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, halalyam, hawad, Kabad, la Yahawah, Yahawashi, Hasham, HaRawchaa, Qadash. Kwam Yashala, Yashala, Yakal Yashala. Wa Barakatha Shalom.